The race for the next leader of the Ontario NDP may be over before it begins. Today is the final day to register as a candidate and have the $55,000 raised up in fundraising. Now, so far, only Stiles, former education critic and current MPP for Dovercourt, has submitted her name. She's already got the backing of several of her caucus colleagues. The top job became available after Andrea Horwath resigned on election night. And with more on the NDP leadership race, I'm joined live by NDP strategist Tom Parkin. Tom, thanks for being here.
Oh, good morning.
So, Stiles, who knows she has the bona fides, unopposed. What happens with the NDP caucus rules if it stands up until midnight?
Well, if she is the only candidate by the end of today, which is the deadline for nominations, then there still will be a vote, which is, I guess, a peculiarity of the Constitution of the NDP, which insists that members get the final say. But there will be some sort of vote, probably if patterns from other sections of the NDP are followed, a ballot to simply say merit Stiles, yes or no. And there's a question, I think, that the provincial party now has to face about whether the original timing still makes sense, or if this is an acclamation, whether the transition should be sped up.
And that original timing would be the March convention, so spring. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say the party would really want to expedite this confirmation, acclamation, given the needs. And, you want a leader installed as soon as possible with so much emphasis right now on labor.
Well, yeah, we'll see what the executive does. It seems to me that that the money that would be diverted into a leadership run could be perhaps better used to go to general party coffers and help the local riding associations build their strength instead. And that it just kind of might be a little bit awkward, frankly, to have somebody who's clearly going to be the leader for 3 months, kind of sitting and cooling her heels while waiting to transition into the role. I don't think that, on the other hand, a huge rush. There's some things that have to be done. She has to work with her caucus colleagues, and she has to build a staff team, and that'll take a little bit of time. So perhaps a timing of transition after the new year might make about sense, but we'll see what the party does. George, this is kind of an interesting thing because we haven't ever had, as far as I can recall, an acclamation for a major party leader here in Ontario. But it's actually not that rare. When I looked around at the history across Canada for premiers, for people who were acclaimed as major party leaders, it included people like Roy Romano, like Dave Barrett, like Mike Harcourt, like John Horgan. It included Brad Wall, and included Danny Gallant. All of these people became premiers at the very next election. There's only one case I can find, Kevin Vickers, who became the leader of the New Brunswick Liberals, who was acclaimed and didn't become premier. So this is a very strong opening step to say, my party is united behind me, and especially in a situation where here in Ontario, most people do not want this Doug Ford government. And the challenge is for Stiles to unite that majority behind her. So she's already started by, hopefully, we'll see, by uniting her caucus behind her. And now she can take that forward and try and unite the 60 or 65% of people who don't want Doug Ford and try and defeat him in the next general election.
Telling 24 hours ahead. Tom Parkin, NDP strategist, thanks so much for your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.